Welcome everyone, I'm Dale and this is CinemaHistoria. A horrified London, two bumbling policemen, and a mysterious doctor. This week we're going back to 1953 for a horror comedy film called Abbott and Costello Meet Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, starring Bud Abbott, Lou Costello, Boris Karloff, Helen Westcott, and Craig Stevens. And this is directed by Charles Lamont. Our story this week takes place in terrorized Victorian London, where a series of horrific murders has baffled police. While returning home from a pub one evening, newspaper reporter Bruce Adams, played by Craig Stevens, finds one murder victim, the prominent doctor Stephen J. Poole. The headlines the next day in the Daily Reporter read, "Monster strikes again, prominent physician slain." Meanwhile, two American policemen, Slim, played by Bud Abbott, and Tubby, played by Lou Costello, who are studying London police methods, respond to a brawl at a women's suffrage rally in Hyde Park. Reporter Adams' young suffragette Vicky Edwards, played by Helen Westcott, Slim and Tubby, are caught up in the fray and wind up in jail. Vicky's guardian, Dr. Henry Jekyll, played by Boris Karloff, bails Vicky and Adams out, while Slim and Tubby, they're kicked off the police force. Giving Vicky and Adams a ride home in his carriage, Dr. Jekyll is disturbed over the affection they have for one another. Unknown to anyone, Dr. Jekyll has developed a serum which transforms him into Mr. Hyde, the monster, who is responsible for the recent murders. Secretly in love with Vicky, Dr. Jekyll, upon returning home to his laboratory, with the help of his assistant Batley, injects himself to transform once again into Mr. Hyde with the intent of murdering Bruce. Meanwhile, Slim and Tubby realize that if they capture the monster, they will get reinstated on the police force. Walking down a street at night, Tubby spots Mr. Hyde, and the boys trail and sneak into the Jubilee Music Hall. There, Vicky is performing with the Jubilee dancing girls, while Adams, visiting, meets Vicky backstage and steals a kiss. Mr. Hyde is outraged, and a chase ensues as Slim, Tubby, and Adam are led to the rooftop and eventually to a horror wax museum. Go figure. So, in the chase, do Slim and Tubby capture the wrong man? Does Mr. Hyde get his man? Does the serum get into the wrong hands? Or does love still prosper and the police force still bumble? Released August 12, 1953, this film was directed by American filmmaker Charles Lamont, known for directing over 200 titles and producing and writing many others. He directed 9 Abbott and Costello comedies and many Ma Kettle films. 96% of Google users like this movie, stating, "It is one of the best Abbott and Costello monster movies, oldie but still a goldie, laughs, lunacy, and Karloff, and fun." And that's exactly what an Abbott and Costello movie should be, and that it is. And I did 4 other Abbott and Costello films on my channel. Please click the links below. One of them is Hold That Ghost from 1941. And our trivia question this week, where did our film story get its inspiration? Where did our film story get its inspiration? So, a little more history and the answer to our trivia question, coming up next. Boris Karloff, who plays Dr. Jekyll in our film, did not play Mr. Hyde. Once the transformation was complete, Hyde was played by stuntman Eddie Parker, making Eddie Parker the subject of this week's history. So Eddie Parker was an American stuntman and actor who appeared in many classic films, mostly westerns and horror films. Born December 12, 1900 in Minnesota, USA, the family relocated to Denver, Colorado, with another move with his mother to Los Angeles by 1930. His first job was that of a handyman in the office of a small Western newspaper. He did everything from selling ads to setting type, but soon tired of this job and resigned. Next, he secured a job as night attendant in a mortuary to learn the business, but grew tired of the dreary routine, and once again signed a paper of resignation. The flower business next attracted Parker's interest for a short while. However, acting was in his blood and wouldn't be denied. He began as a singer and dancer in a nightclub, later graduating to vaudeville, where he toured many of the leading circuits. With the crash of vaudeville, he turned to pictures, finding sudden fame in Hollywood in 1931 where his services were much in demand. A skilled athlete, he became Universal's most reliable and highest paid stunt performer, doubling for horror stars Lon Chaney Jr., Boris Karloff, among others. Parker was also given speaking roles whenever his assignments called for pushy cops, guards, hoodlums, or Western bad men. Some of his credits include Flash Gordon from 1936, Buck Rogers from 1939, They Died with Their Boots On from 1941, yes, that's Errol Flynn, Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window from 1954, and he plays the Mummy, yes, in Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy in 1955. For his final film, Spartacus, in 1960, Parker was a stunt coordinator behind the camera and a gladiator on screen. A busy and respected member of Hollywood's stunt community, he worked in hundreds of films at Republic, Universal, Columbia, and other production companies. Active from 1931 to 1960, Parker had credited and uncredited acting roles in over 300 films and performed stunts and doubling in 444 films. Before he became TV's Lone Ranger, Clayton Moore worked with Eddie at Republic and Columbia. Having had positive memories, commented that Eddie was a great stunt double. Just amazing. He plays a great Mr. Hyde in this film as well. And the answer to our trivia question this week, where did our film story get its inspiration? Our film story was inspired by the 1886 novella, Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Scottish novelist, poet, and travel writer Robert Louis Stevenson. Other popular works include the pirate-themed adventure novel, Treasure Island from 1883, the historical novels Kidnapped in 1886, and The Black Arrow, A Tale of the Two Roses in 1888, and the poetry collection A Child's Garden of Verses in 1885. Considered an artist of great range and insight, his works have received a large number of film adaptations. A celebrity in his lifetime, in 2018 he was ranked just ahead of Charles Dickens as the 26th most translated author in the world. Just amazing. Here's another piece of trivia for you for this week. In 1962 this week, yes, October 20th, 1962, the song Monster Mash hits number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. One of my favorite songs around Halloween. A big thank you to my viewers and subscribers. Thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll see you soon.